probably been hearing the same noise floating around the coffee industry right now. Cafes are struggling, the government isn't doing enough, and customers just aren't spending like they used to. It's everywhere, and it's just vague enough to sound true without anyone actually checking it. So I checked it, and where I'm based, here in Australia, cafe spending is up 7.6% this year. Not down, up. And other markets around the world tell a similar story, even if the exact numbers vary. So if customers' spending hasn't disappeared, then why are so many cafes and coffee shops struggling right now? Well, it's that the classic cafe business model, the one that's been so successful over the last couple of decades, just isn't as profitable anymore. But for those willing to think different and challenge the way things have always been done, then there are still opportunities to build a properly profitable business in this industry. So picture the classic cafe. The menu is 3 pages long because they don't want to miss any must-have items, and that means they need a mountain of ingredients and an army of staff to make all of it. And of course they do takeaway, but the service isn't actually that quick because the same team is also looking after a full dining room and a full menu. Ask them what they're known for and you'll usually get a shrug. They kind of do a bit of everything. Now, it's the kind of menu and the service model you'd build if you were the only cafe in town. The problem is that's almost never true anymore. There are a dozen other places within a short walk selling more or less the same products with the same kind of service. Now, on paper, doing it all seems like the smart option. More customers covered, more reasons to visit. But in practice, it's like a Swiss Army knife. 15 tools folded into one handle, and every single one of them worse than the dedicated version. It's not useless, it's just never anyone's first choice for anything. And with more competitors in this space than ever, that means they end up getting a smaller and smaller slice of the market over time. And even as the cost of ingredients, labour and, well, pretty much everything else rises faster than ever, they don't increase menu prices enough to keep up because they're scared of losing volume. It's a vicious cycle. And that's the bind the classic cafe is stuck in, not because customers vanished, because the model was built for a world where being okay at everything and ending up with average profit was good enough. Well, that world is gone. Here's what the business is doing well right now have in common. They focus on specific products or specific occasions, and they do it so well they become known for it. And to be honest, a lot of them don't really look like the typical cafe or coffee shop you've got in your head. For example, there's a place near where I live called Arno Deli. They built their name on one thing, the Florentine panini. Yes, they sell coffee and sweet treats too, but they're really known for their sandwiches because they do it so well. And that means they can charge more for it and run a really efficient, high-volume operation that's not spread across dozens of different items. And it doesn't have to be food either. I met a cafe owner in Sydney who specialised in cocktail-inspired cold drinks like fancy iced coffees, matcha and so on. Yes, they also serve hot coffee and food, but the owner told me that around 80% of their sales come from these signature cold drinks. And what's more, they're charging around double the price of a flat white for these. So with a sales mix like this, it's really a completely different business model than the typical cafe most of us are used to. So focusing on specific products is one approach, but the other is to focus on specific occasions. Project Zero in Melbourne has gone viral for serving coffee in 15 seconds. They've stirred up the haters online because they use pre-batch espresso. That is, they brew espresso ahead of time and they serve it almost instantly when someone places an order. Now, they're not using cheap convenience store coffee, it's high quality specialty grade coffee, and I can confirm it tastes really, really good. And importantly, to their regular inner city customers, it fits the occasion perfectly. They want great tasting coffee as fast as possible, and if it delivers the goods, then they don't really care how it happened. And more I think we'll see the most successful cafe businesses thinking like this, finding unique ways to be known for specific products and specific occasions. Now, these places probably won't look like the cafe from Friends or even a Starbucks, but they'll have a better chance of competing and actually turning a profit than the old approach. Now look, I get it. None of this is as simple as flicking a switch. Walking away from a menu or a service model that you've run for a decade is hard, even when it's not working anymore. Think of it like this. The cafe industry isn't shrinking. The money's still there. It's just moving towards the cafes willing to commit to something specific. The classic do a bit of everything cafe isn't the safe, steady option anymore. Now, if you're already running a cafe, the question isn't whether you need to change everything overnight. It's whether you can name the occasions or the signature items that you actually want to be known for. If you can't answer that quickly, well then that's probably where you should start. And if you're planning to open one, well the opportunity is there to build something around a clear focus from day one, instead of trying to be everything to everyone. So how do you actually find that lane instead of guessing or copying whatever's trending? Well, I've already made a video that walks through exactly that, identifying your real customers, the occasions that bring them in, and what they actually need in that moment before you touch a single tactic. And that's the one to watch next.